wealth, and what we don't want to do is um, send it away. We want to attract the wealth to us. But in order to do that, there needs to be a mindset shift. But on top of that, there needs to be a purpose for the wealth. So mindset shift is,
And my thing is more purpose than actual wealth.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. So if you've got a
so-
purpose
okay.
for it, you will then need to put into place, before you're given that wealth, all the tools that will enable you to use it wisely. And I've heard the analogy that if you had a child, you wouldn't give them the keys to a Ferrari if they're 5 years old,
Well,
because they don't know how to drive the Ferrari.
yeah, well. You're gonna turn your screen on. Turn your screen on because obviously for the viewers, right, who are on our live channels on the Facebook and also on the YouTube, right? So if you go on there, look on the Blacknificent Radio Show on the Facebook and or the YouTube, you can right. You have to turn the volume. Turn your volume down. That's it. Okay. Okay, I got you. Gotcha. So I can bring you on there. Okay, right. There you go. It looks more balanced. Although I've got your double vision, no, but still. Yeah, right. So as you can see, our sister Sandra is here live with us in the studio.
Greetings.
Right. So we are here. Yeah. And we're just analyzing the ancestral voices there, And yeah, as I said, the reason why I brought that brother there is apparently he's the wealthiest African American. Oh, yeah, as the description says, he's the wealthiest Black African American, and it's just going through his journey of where he's come from, and how he has done the process of accumulating his wealth and where he is. And I can, in many ways, I can relate to what he's saying, right? Because it's more the journey than the actual act of building the wealth, right? Obviously, the education of the foundation of the wealth building, right, is absolutely necessary and vital. Because if you don't know what it's doing, it's useless. You going out there and kicking a ball around a field, and you don't have no goal, right? Or you don't know the rules of the game, right? You might be a fantastic person about your kick ball up and down and all them things there, but if you don't know the rules of how this game play, then all you're doing is just kicking a ball around the field. Yeah. So, but. And I've got plenty more of those. You can use that one as well. I've got plenty of those analogies. If I've never heard them before, but
you want to put a hashtag next to it.
Is it?
Use it as your own.
Use it as my own.
Yeah.
Start kicking the ball around the field. Yeah. Anyway, that's out there now. So that's gone. That's gone already. That's in the wind. Yeah, but anyhow. So like when you're doing that, you have to have a foundation of knowledge and understanding, because like there's many of us who haven't had that formal education of finance, mathematics, yes, because like being like an engineer. You know the ins and outs of spheres and conicals and everything, and the intricacies of gear mechanics and everything else. But when it comes to simple thing, and I say simple thing, a straightforward thing like percentages, averages, and growth impact, compound interests, and all these type of things there, right? We slip and fall at the first hurdle because we go and sign up for this credit card business. straight away. You understand? So therefore, you're behind the fence already. You know, them ways there, you know. But then again, as I say, there's always a way. There's a way, and yeah, there's always a way to get through and over things as well. So I won't say get round it. Yeah, get through and around over it. Yeah, there you go.
So one of the things that I would say is that as much as he spoke about the education, and that's where he was starting and speaking about his parents and the studies and etc. Having the money doesn't necessarily mean you need to have had the education, because there's lots of people out there, or there are a number of people out there who are wealthy, who do not have, who didn't go through a formal education. So we need to just. So what I would use that brother for is, there's someone who looks like me who can be wealthy. There is someone who looks like me who has made it outside of the music, outside of the athletics, outside of the normal,
and that's what you were saying,
quote,
yes,
avenues where you see black people who are successful. So I know I was watching a YouTube video recently, and it was just a clip. Shelley Ann Fraser was collecting an award, and the thing that she said is that when she, at the age of 13, and she looked around, she didn't see anybody who looked like her running and being successful. But then she took it one stage further to when she had a child, and coming out of having a child, bringing up her boy, and people saying you can no longer do athletics because you are a mother, and putting 101 different excuses as there, so they can see that having a child is no barrier, because you've reached the age of 30. That is no barrier. And I believe Serena Williams also done the same thing. So sometimes as people, we need to have those strong role models. We need to see someone who looks like us, who has done something. It's a bit like you've broken the 4-minute mile. Once that's broken, everybody else has an opportunity to think they can also do it. And that opens their eyes to the possibility of their success. So with this brother, it's just like, yeah, let's hear him. Let's salute him. And let's take from him the learning that we need, so we can also be wealthy by nature.
And in some ways, you're right in what you're saying, right? To push it a little bit further, because I saw that the speech that she was giving after receiving that award, right? And giving full acknowledgement to like her achievements, and then the time that she received it, she thought that she should have got that a lot earlier, right? Because of the position that she was holding, right? And it looked like she had to do a second coming as such to actually be accepted.
To win the award.
Yeah,
she'd been nominated something like 6 times or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. You know, actually, if I find the clip, I'll bring it up onto here, right? But like, even with that alone, it is a case of that. Yes, we have to go and seek these individuals, right? Be in the listening for their journey, their history, their story. Be in the listening, right? Even those gems, and I say gems, even those gems that exist amongst us in our own communities. Because if we're looking at successful people, it's not necessarily financially, right? Those who are able to achieve a change in your community, those who are able to stand up and even voice what the community actually wants, right? Those who are willing to even actually stand up as well. All these gems, and I call them gems because there's behind those gems there are 100 who would never ever put themselves in that position, right? Because like even to say, like for instance, we're here in the studio now. You know how many activists would shun coming into the studio to actually sit down and talk?
So that surprises me.
Right? But I know for a fact that there are 100 people out there who have fantastic, brilliant ideas. But it's that one step forward, that one step to say, you know what, I've got to go and sell myself now. Right? We was talking about this a few programs back. I'm sure we did mention it on there. How many of us can actually talk about ourselves and only ourselves for a minute? Yeah? It's something that you work on. You work at it constantly. Yeah? You work at it constantly. You make sure that we have your base identification strong, right? Be adaptable, right? Because anyhow. You have any comment on that before I continue?
No comment. No comment.
All right. One of the things, when you go to various seminars, right, you may come across the same presenter, the same speakers. And then when you go to like 3, 4, 5, and then you see them the third, the fourth, the fifth time, it's almost like you know what they're going to be saying next. You ever come across that?
No. What, the presenter? You know what they're going to say next?
Talking to them.
You mean the presenter? You know what they're going to say next?
Yes. Yeah. It's like when they recount an account, for instance.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That they would repeat an account.
Yep.
Yeah. For instance, or they will come in and they do their introduction, and they will come exactly the same introduction type of thing, because it empowers them and makes them feel good, and they build a rapport with the audience or the listeners, and it's like, oh, right, yeah. I've heard that before. Even some radio presenters, right? Look, as I'm learning the skill, I'm hearing like, hold on, wait a minute, but he said that last time and the time before, But you know what? Whatever. That's their pattern. There's that pattern. But for me, right, it's a case of that. Is that person being genuine, or are they actually they want to give over that imagery of look, I have something for you. I want to share something with you. I need to share something with you, right? And but it's limited in its message, right? Or is it that they literally are just that one trick pony?
I would disagree with both of those, because I think
I
think that there is a different option. So my perception is,
I'm in the learning here, I'm in the learning. I'm in the listening and learning. So
there's two sides to every coin, and there's an edge.
Mm.
And I don't think you've considered the edge in this instance.
Mm-hmm.
So I would ask you, Brother Aston, how often have you only read a book once?
Right.
Oh, that's the wrong question.
No.
It should actually be, of the books that you can call upon and has impacted you, the question I'd ask you is, did you only read it once?
No. Obviously, there's one thing that I'll say is a preview,
Mm,
and then there's the reading,
mhm.
and then there's the review.
Okay. So you've just gone through it 3 times
Yeah.
for a book which you've purchased, picked off the shelf,
Mhm.
or whatever. So when you are listening to some of these speakers, even though you've heard them twice or 3 times, the person sitting next to you on your left or right may not have, so that may be the first time. But B, the most important thing is sometimes we're in different parts of our own life journey. So as we are on our own life journey, we hear things on a different frequency, which resonates with us, and may be that thing that changes the course of the direction we are currently going in. It may give us that awakening, that enlightenment, that aha moment, that, wow, I hadn't considered it like that before.
Mhm.
First time you heard it, you could have heard it 5 times before, but you were not ready for the message. What do they say? When the pupil is ready, the teacher appears.
Don't worry. Listen, I've got some albums. Albums. My word. I've got some albums at home,
Mm-hmm,
right, that I've only listened to once,
mm-hmm.
and then there's an inspiration of like you just pick it up, and all of a sudden it's like listening to it for the first time.
Yep.
Right. I
Yep.
understand where you're coming from.
Mm-hmm.
I understand where you're coming from. Right. But at the same time, it's like having a person that you are familiar with,
Mm-hmm.
right? And that's how I would say I would regard some of the presenters,
Mm-hmm.
some of the people who are speakers,
Mm-hmm.
right? Even some of these music DJ them too, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I put them in the same category because in many ways they are giving out the message as well. That when I'm meeting you, I would like an update, not to have the same conversation we had 10, 20 times ago, right? You understand? So when we're doing material,
Mm-hmm.
when we're doing material, like for instance, if I came in here and repeated the same program
Mm-hmm.
time after time after time after time,
Mm-hmm.
right? Not being able to be adaptable in my vocabulary,
Mm-hmm.
in my subject matters, and also in my descriptions,
Mm-hmm.
right? I feel personally that I would be repeating myself too often. Don't get me wrong, there are times when I do recount and I review because I can see the adaptation or the way how you can utilize, for instance, a phrase or an account that I probably experienced.
Mm-hmm.
I can see that, but I would also point out the relation to that,
Okay.
right? And I hear what you're saying as well. I hear what you're saying that it could be the first time somebody's experiencing that and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, let that first time be the first time that they're hearing something fresh from not only you, right, but for everybody else.
But I would anticipate then that the speaker, there will be an element that may be the same,
Mhm.
and then there'll be an element that then will be changed
Mm.
based on the audience, for want of a better word, and the reaction they are getting and the vibration they are getting from that said audience. But there will be a core message that they will be delivering. So there may be a golden thread, which is a core golden thread that they are delivering. And in that, you may say, okay, I've heard that golden thread before, but have you applied it? Have you done anything with it? Or are you just taking it on as, okay, they said to A, B, or C, you go home, you think, yep, that was a really good presentation, a really good talk. You go home, you do nothing with it. It's almost like someone giving you £100 and you leaving here, going home, coming back, and you still got the £100 in your pocket, but you passed so many shops and you were hungry, but you never bought anything. You never bought any water. You never bought any juice or any peanuts or whatever. And you've come back with the same money. Then to some degree, I'd ask, you need to listen again and collect those £100, but you need to be doing something with it.
I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying. Listen, there are many speakers that I have listened to time and time again, because like like how we've collected many material, right? Books and things like this. And when you get some of them book there and they are Fred, you've thumbed through them so many times, right? That you have to get a replacement. You have to get a replacement book. That they do exist. They do exist, because that I've got a few of those. I've got a few of those, mainly because it's what I would say they are foundational materials for building upon. Because every book I see it has those building blocks of life, right? And I emphasize again, because this is what I'm gonna say publicly as well, right? Even though Sister Sandra is here, she's gonna help me write my book, or even push me in the right direction to even start writing a book. So I'm gonna have a foundation in there somewhere at some time as well, Put this Blacknificentness into a book form or something, So
put it out there, and I've caught it.
There you go, right? Because I know I said that's one of her skills as well. Yeah, she could like to whip you. Anyhow. Yeah. Anyway, so we're gonna be working on that as well, and I know that you're working on a piece as well, isn't it, for yourself as well?
Yeah. So I'm adding to the chapter, and it would be a book.
One of the things what came out this morning as well, right? And I did start off the show like that this morning. One of the things that came out this morning was one of the things that you have been advocating and speaking upon for the past, must be a year now, right? And it highlighted that they use the same terminology, cohesive what?
Control.
Behavior, right? And it was one of the few times that I heard it in the public eye.
Okay.
Right. So I'm just thinking, wait a minute. But these topics of discussion, and it was like a collifery of different subjects that we have covered over the last, I would say, 8 months, right? That we've been discussing. So let's I'm going to give a message out, and this is for all of you researchers on ITV, right? If you are out there listening to us right now, you are more than welcome to bring all of the subjects of discussion that we are here talking about right? And it's not a case of plagiarism or anything like that, right? But these are the things that we are actually going through in our actual lives, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But you have our contact details, and if you need clarity of explanation, right, please contact us. Okay. All right. You can contact any one of us, and we'll be more than willing to explain to you in the 15 seconds that you allow us to explain on your programs, in preference to the 2 hours that we allow people to come and explain here on the galaxy of the we.net, right? But we are willing to talk about it. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right, there you go. That's for the ITV people them.
Okay.
Right, because I know that they're probably nervous about going to court and everything right now. And there's plenty more subjects to talk about too. There's plenty more, right? So don't worry. There's plenty more to talk about in the black community.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Anyhow,
You going to give out any numbers?
numbers. You can do. Actually, you can do it now. You can do it. That right. That's our text number. Yeah. And then.
So the text number is 07
Mhm.
947 479219.
Mhm.
07947 479219.
Mhm.
And the telephone number is 0203 289 6504.
Yes, and you can come directly live to us here in the studio this afternoon with myself, sorry, Sister Sandra and myself. Where's my edification? Where is it? Where's it gone? Where's it gone?
There's a mobile number to be shared as well.
Yeah, see that's it there
Yeah.
in the purple over there, sir.
You sit in the purple.
Yeah, you don't see it. You're looking on the wrong thing.
I am.
See there?
Oh. 07377.
No. Where are you reading that from?
Oh, no, that's all right. You keep talking.
No, okay, right.
No, you keep talking.
No, the one below. The one
Yeah,
below.
but that's the text number.
Oh, yeah.
That's the there's no mobile.
See the one behind the hotline. You don't see it. No. Yeah. You can use that one.
Yeah, it's the same one.
Yeah.
I've given that already.
No,
0203
no, you was giving this one.
289 6504.
Without fight, listen. We ain't you know. Look at that shit. Yo, we'll put some spring water on you.
I've still got some thawing out to do, you see.
Yeah, I see that. You're still jet lagged.
Yeah. The lag is still jetting.
Yeah. All right then. You got 2 customs yet? Anyhow, 0203-289-6504 is where you could come directly to us here. Right. Also, you can catch us live on the Facebook on the Blacknificent Radio Show, and also on the YouTube on the Blacknificent Radio Show on the YouTube as well, live. Okay, and you can message us through those mediums as well. Okay, so you can contact us as well. So we are all over the place. We're trying to just put ourselves out there, build our platform, and everything else. So any of those that you are able to, you can subscribe to, and then you'll get notifications of when we're going to be coming on with our programs, topics of discussion, and you can submit topics of discussions as well through your commentary. Yeah. So we're open like that. We're open like that right here on the Blacknificent Radio Show. Right? Mind and soul connection.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we are. We are right. So, what do you have for us this strong, my sister? or you just come and just
I'm just
here today?
yeah, I'm just here today.
You're just here today.
I'm just here today.
What's your plans over the next few days? And yeah, because we have the Friday and Sunday. So what your plan?
I've got no plans.
Oh, so you're
To say.
free spirit.
Free spirit. For
You
Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
really come on a vacation.
And then on Monday things will change. But
Yeah.
for the Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I'm a free spirit.
Okay. Cool. That's no problem. No problem. Right. So here on the Blacknificent Show, here on the Mind and Soul Connection. This is the thing now, right? Religions and politics, conversation has really dead right now. I've mentioned it a few times actually. I haven't mentioned it in the last few programs that we've done. That our conversation that we have, right, and that we have always been directed to, it's not to have that conversation about money, politics, or religion, right? But as I've always stated, it's these are probably one of the foundations of us as being human beings, right? Our spiritual connectivity, right? Obviously, the wealth that we build to build our existence and support our existence, whether it be material, physical, or spiritual, right? These are the wealths that we do build over time. We also have to talk about the social structure, the politicians of building the social structure as well, right? Now the twain has mixed here in the UK, right? That we have one of the leaders of the churches over here, the Church of England, about him tell how all the politics are going with their bad ways towards other people, and they don't like it. They don't like it happen, you know. Remember him? They don't like it happen, but you know. But it's a true thing. I mean, we've been here on the Galaxy for we.net and the .com from before. We've been telling them for years of their actions, right? And to the extent of where when we tell them about themselves and what their actions are, they don't like it. They don't like it. But we're not gonna stop because all we're doing is telling the truth. We're telling the truth. So the question is, the truth will set you free or not? The truth will set you free or not? Because now what? They are cowering in their corner saying that you're not supposed to be talking about us or tell us what to do. The fact that you are committing immoral acts towards human beings. And then on the other hand, you're going to talk about human rights, right? But you are not displaying that in your nature. You're not displaying that in your social construct. In fact, the way how you are doing it, you're declaring a civil war against citizens and people of the nation. So where do you stand? Why do you feel that it's right for you to be treating people in the same way that any other warmonger would be doing it, and then you're going to say you're not supposed to say nothing? Is it because it's not on your doorstep, or you're doing it just to protect yourself? So that's why we're not supposed to say anything. So in other words, we're going to have to declare war on you so that you can just feel say, right, they've agitated us. Now we have to take action. But you are doing the wrong thing in the first place. Where it lands, it lands. Where my statement lands, it lands. Yeah. Simple. Anybody want to come in on that, right? So 0203-289-6504. Sister Sandra.
Or 07947
Mm-hmm.
479-219. That's the text number.
Yes. Right. So if you want to come in on that, not a problem at all. Not a problem at all. Right? Because right now, there's a whole ball of confusion, right now, and the fact that you are here listening to us on the galaxy of we.net means that you are looking for answers as well. And we're giving some answers, but we're pushing you in a direction so that you will hear those answers, right? And especially here on this program, we give you the language so that you can answer those questions of debilitation in many ways. I'm going to tell you a little incident in a moment as well, right? Johnny, let me say now. Here we are. Here. I know I always bring this one up in the conversation every time, right? Hold on. There's something playing in there. I don't know.
We're still playing the ancestral voices.
I still think I'm playing that one, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. Let me see if I can find it now. Hey.
Well, you'd encourage the family, if they want to listen to the rest of the ancestral voices, to click the link on YouTube on the Blacknificent Show 2023 within that catalog, and you can see and you can hear the rest of that interview, because the interview is over an hour. But like I said, it's useful just as a reference point to understand his journey, but also then recognize then that his journey doesn't have to be unique. In him speaking aloud and being seen means that we get an opportunity of also recognizing that we can do it also. It is the 4-minute mile analogy. Once one's done it, there's going to be a whole load of people that do the same and believe they can.
Setting the foundation. Setting the foundation. been on fire, everyone is dancing on. Want to and want to kiss. War is not a nice thing. Boy, live and direct, man. Live and direct. Ain't that the truth? You can't hide it. You cannot hide it. You can't hide the truth, man. You can't hide the truth. It's true. Boy, I'm telling you, these people, yes, sir. It's like they're just living on a completely different planet to everybody else right now. Hold on, let's done this one down here. There you go. I have to go jump through the hoops and circles here and with everything, you know.
You do.
Right? But you know, one of the things now. Look on this now. As the water come down, it's raining. But like you know, as one of the things that we have to really acknowledge, you know, that our people, right? We have been and okay. I have to break this down. I have to back it up. I have to back it up. I have to back it up. I'm probably voicing my frustrations probably right this at this particular time, right? But we have we have been able to educate ourselves enough to see the wrongs and the rights of a system, right? My traumatic experience as I was growing up was to experience those things from that was happening in Africa, to experience the embarrassment of being stopped and searched and complete. Well, I'm going to tell you now, the way how they do it now is completely different to how they used to do it when I was young. Yeah, it was embarrassing, but you know, life has changed, but the politics and the politicians are still being played to the people. We have been in educated enough to say, you know what, the way how you're presenting this system is not exactly how we want it. But yet we are still victims of a bourgeoisie type of systems called the politics, right? There was a big shift a few years ago. There was a big shift because what happened is that they had so many members of the Conservative Party that all the seats were all taken up. So what they did, right? Some of these conservative people, they went and joined the Labour Party, knowing that if they got in as MPs, they would be, if there was any vote, they would be voting towards the Conservative Party anyway, right? So therefore, that is why you had many a man in there who weren't putting up no resistance against no Conservative Party. Yeah, and these are the things that they are manipulating us to experience right now. They're manipulating them, but yet we still have not created our own presence and own independence. All we're doing is standing on the fence outside the locked door and still fighting, saying freedom, freedom, freedom. They don't care about that. We're supposed to create our own foundations now. Just the other day, and I don't know why it's a divine inspiration intervention right now, right? I started a course, and there was a brother on there, brother Nix, right, brother Nix, Rashid Nix. As we know, he put himself up to be counselor and representative of a Green Party. Yeah, but irrespective, one of the things that he achieved out of that though was the highest turnout for voting. The question that we was having, or the conversation we was having, was a film documentary. Again, I'm not too sure if it's on the YouTube, but I'm sure I'm going to do a public viewing and question and answer around it as well. Right? Is why black people don't vote. Okay. And that was a documentary that he put together. And the fact is that we are dismissing ourselves out of a process that is necessary for our freedom and our liberation. I know, listen, I do, and I'm very aware that there are members of the Galaxy family, right, that totally dismiss participation in those type of things. There, I grew up with that principle, right, as I was younger. But the fact is that how do we gain our freedom? How do we step out of this into what are we going to step ourselves into? What are we going to step ourselves into? Because there's many a system out there that does not support us as independent individuals anyway. So what are we stepping ourselves into? Huh? Are we making ourselves homeless? Because there ain't no desert to walk around for how long did they walk around in the desert for?
40 days and 40 nights.
No. That was the fasting.
Okay.
No, how long did them people they walk around the desert for? Whatever years, anyhow. I forget it slipped me. But we ain't got no desert to be walking around in. You understand? So therefore, come on now. But then again, if I'm out of order of what I'm saying, tell me then. Right? 0203-289-6504. Right? Because I know said that education and super education is a vitality for us, man. We're supposed to have our young people at the age of 15 at degree level. That should be standard. Standard. Don't make it like a phenomenon that one child has been able to enter a university at the age of 14 and 15. That should be standard. Right? That should be a regular movement that. In fact, they should create a new university for our young people to excel. We should create that university for our children to excel. We should have our own education system for not only the children, but for the adults of those children and for the society, people who want to be part of that society, to get an education so that say that when you step into our presence, it's only excellence and above that we're dealing with. Right? No fool business. No fool business. Yeah? Come with your broken-hearted ways and your ingenuous types of behavior. No. That doesn't exist. That's not supposed to be existing. If you want to go on with them things, go on with your things, no problem. But not around we. Not around we. Come on now. Sorry about that. I had a little rant there. Sorry.
No, you Because you say in terms of education, and again, I'm questioning. Education is, yeah, down with it. The disadvantage or the realization that we need is that it's not always the only answer.
No, that's
and
only one. That's only one part of
And we
it.
need to better untangle, look beyond, think about it in the wider context. Because if we leave it up to others to educate us, we recognize where we will be and where the direction that we're traveling in. So it's always then to be mindful then that you take from it as much as you can or as much as you choose to, but don't allow that to be the only person or thing that you're taking your education from. Because then you're living small, and you're playing in someone else's playground, and we recognize what happens in relation to that.
Okay, then you see what you just said now. Relying on them, and this is why, even for us to have a foundation of our own story, to have the foundation of our own stories, our own accounts, put our own accounts down. That should be the springboard of never again to be revisiting those type of experiences in many ways, right? When we have those horror stories of I'm trying to think of that book now, Ugly.
Okay.
Right? Fictitious or facts. We should never ever experience those type of things ever again. Right? As I say, fictitious or facts, because the mother, I think, of the author refuted most of the accounts what was written in that book there, but it was still an account that was taken and then it was run with. Yeah. What's another one? There's another one there. Like even say 12 Years a Slave. Right? We know said that we would never want to be in that position again. Right? So we put a foundation there, say, look, whatever caused that, we should never put ourselves in that position. But yet some of us are still living under those type of things, them type of things. Yeah. Marcus Garvey raised his personal level of understanding life and his personal principles, and that was years ago. So what is the principles of today and for tomorrow, and who's writing it, who's recounting it, who's taking us to the next level? Who?
So it's going to be the next generation that's going to be taking us to the next level.
Exactly.
But what are they going to be taking us with?
But they need a foundation to bounce from. They need something to bounce from. Yeah.
So is part of that foundation the leaders within the community, the elders within the community? I'm thinking Black History Studies. I'm thinking Tony Warner. I'm thinking about brothers and sisters who are doing the work on the ground.
They're just wedging the door open, yeah? They're wedging the door open for us to pass through. It's for us to go in there and rebuild and refurnish that house, what they're hoping that door for. Right? Because said that it's a lifetime sacrifice that they have given for themselves to do that. Right? Irrespective of if they're financially gaining or whatever, but they've sacrificed their lives for that. How many of us are willing to do that for ourselves? How many of us are saying, you know what, let me stand up and do something just like them or they have, so that I can say, you know what, at least I've been satisfied to say I have been a positive contribution to not only myself, but from others as well.
Okay. So, because we get caught in that matrix, we sometimes get, we don't, as they say, put your head above the parapet because it's safer potentially to stay where you are.
I don't know. I don't know if you recall. There was a presenter DJ. I don't want his name to slip out my head now, as it slips out of my head. Oh, look, you see that? You see that?
It's
gone.
gone.
He's gone. He's gone. He'll come back. He'll come back. He'll come back.
So
He'll come back. He'll
keep
come back.
talking and it will come back.
Yeah, he'll come back. Anyhow, and what happened is that he shared a piece of material that was on public network, but it was talking about a set of people. A set of people. I'm going to put it like that, just in case they are listening, which I know that they are anyhow. Right? They're talking about a set of people, and because he put it out there, they took him to court and banned him from any public arena, every public arena, banned him, and anyone associated with him would get the repercussions on that. And they actually put a sanction against the radio station as well, right? And remember, it's not something that he made up, it's something that was already there.
He just brought it to the,
and he just played it like how we do here. He just played it out there, So therefore, when I hear that now, I'd have to say, you know what, the truth is the truth. Many a man has spent a time in incarceration, and sometimes that's the part of the journey, right? But then again, that's me. But for a lot of other people, they would say, you know something, you're right, but I'm not willing to put myself out there like that. Which I hear and I understand, because it's not everybody is a frontline soldier. Not everybody's a frontline soldier. But listen, make yourself and your position effective. If you want to be an educator or a supporter, make it effective. Yeah. It's not everybody have to be a frontline liberationist. Yeah. But you can be effective. When you come onto the galaxy of we.net and you make your commentary, make it effective. It don't have to be divisive every time. Right? They done this, they done that, whatever. Right? That's not a problem. That's not a problem. We are very aware. We're very aware of their actions and their attitude towards us. But at the same time, let's talk about positivity as well for our community, what we are actually achieving, right? Because each time that you speak that into existence, that is a building block for us, right? If we could, something, if I could say that I would like to have at least from 12 to 12 every day, from 12 midnight to 12 midday, that you cannot speak anything negative about yourself or anyone, right? Or life itself.
Mm-hmm.
If I could make a law that is the thing, right? I'm sure that by the afternoon you wouldn't even have anything to talk about you're going to talk about other people and in other ways and other things there, because you'll be empowering yourself. Yeah, you'll be totally empowering yourself.
So it's interesting that you say that, because that was part of our discussion last week, where we were talking about mental diet.
Mm-hmm.
And I wouldn't even say 12 till 12. I would just say having that mental diet and see how long you can go, where you're thinking, A, the positive thoughts, but B, you're not getting drawn into the negativity. So that means you're not getting drawn into the negativity.
No
you
conversation.
Leave yourself
That's
open for the riches that the universe actually wants to share with you, because your mind isn't cluttered. Your soul isn't cluttered. And like I said, you get that opportunity to have a conversation without the rah, 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 or without the negativity, or without the I'm speaking to you, but quite frankly, I'm feeling something else. So it's recognizing that and being able to do that. So yeah, that mental diet that we started speaking about last strong is something that I am working on, and have been working on for probably the last 3 weeks. Have I been able to do it day in day without falling off the proverbial wagon? No, because of the nature of life. So there's things then that I recognize, okay, in order to do it, and to do it successfully, there needs to be an element of not getting involved or not getting drawn into the negativity. Yeah. No.
You haven't got your paper. Okay. Yeah, right. Listen. One of the things that I've learned over the period of time, and they categorize it as mindfulness. Yeah. Right. Basically, focusing, being able to totally focus on direct action. Right. Being purposeful in your actions and your thoughts. Yeah. And it does take that time of quietness, stillness within yourself, right? Even for me to speak, like for instance today, right? It's a case of just, you know what, it's there within yourself, right? So express it. Many of us do not express it. We just allow it to build up and build up and build up and build up. And then it comes out as a blur. Right? And then they say, what did you say? What do you mean by that? But all you're doing is expressing the fullness of who and what you are. But not only that, you are expressing the truth within you. And it's not all the time that it's in conducive with everybody else. It's not every time that it's the same as everybody else. Right? And so when you have the opportunity, this is why we do our forms of meditation, so that we can formulate the language that does express us. right? You feel said that I've come here and I'm on Galaxy and I can just talk. So no, I've learned how to develop the conversation over time. And the thing is that everybody can develop their conversation over the time. Yeah. But one of the foundations of it is to be totally genuine. Right? I think that's the only time that I can see that that quotation. I'm gonna say it's a quotation because it's I only know it from the scriptures in that way, right? When they say the truth will set you free. Yeah? Freedom of expression, right? It's when you learn how to have that inner conversation to bring it to the outer conversation. Some of us have subdued our inner conversation so much that we get numb. We get totally numb. And that's why we do our meditations. That's why we do our meditations, so that we know, say, whoa, okay, then I've got something to say. But how do I say it? Yeah? How do I say it?
Well, I would say the meditations work on a different level in terms of stilling and slowing down the thought process and the noise, which does allow you then to listen to the whispers. Because there's so much happening at any given point. There's so many distractions, and I can imagine exactly the same way as I'm here and doing 2-3 things, you're here doing 2-3 things, our family's out there doing 2-3 things. We're cheating ourselves because we can only do one thing really well at one given point, at any given point. And the meditation helps us to recapture center. Like I said, quieten the mind and quieten the chatter. That sometimes we get involved in the chatter and we get involved in the noise, and we start responding to, and we think, hang on a minute, how I didn't mean to go down this road. Why am I drawn into this conversation or drawn into this situation? Why am I angry? Why am I this? Why am I that? And assuming then that you've got the I was going to say foresight, but assuming that you can recognize or you can catch the insight, that's the only time when you can actually make the difference. Because if you've not got the insight, then you just keep on going, keep on doing what you've always done and expecting a different result. No, you won't get a different result because you're still doing what you've always done. So we need to, that meditation gives you a chance. And I know, Brother Aston, when you were just finishing off the midday meditation, you encouraged the family to take a pen and paper to write down what had come to their mind.
That's right.
Write down the thoughts, because the fact that you think, oh, well, I'll write it down in a minute, that thought has gone.
It's gone.
Someone else has caught that thought and someone else is running with that idea. And you think to yourself, you turn around and you look around and you say, but how comes they're always on their feet? How comes they're always in a job? How comes they're always so well off? How comes they're so well dressed? How comes? Because they were catching the like I said, turning around later on and saying, okay, why is it that someone else has done so well? Or been successful, you had the same opportunity. We all have, to be fair, we've all done the hardest job, and that's being born and surviving those odds. Because those odds, forget the sperm and the egg. You're talking about your parents were together, with their parents were together, and their parents were together, and etc. And if you keep going back, you're thinking to yourself, yeah, for me to be here, if to be fair, I'm really and truly blessed. So now what? What are you going to do with that blessing?
Exactly. And you know, if you're coming to your realization now, today, right at this moment, that you know, where you are in your life, it's not a case of, whoa, you know, you made a mistake and whoa, look how much time I've wasted and all that. No. Your realization and your awakening is this moment and forward. Make the best and most of that. Right? Going through this rejuvenation program, it does bring you to a level of inner standing, right? And the fact is that, you know, you make your declarations in the morning and you know, when you wake up, and when you're doing that, you know, there are times when you do recount, say, well, you know, yesterday was it, and then you thought, whoa, I'm supposed to be present. I'm supposed to be in what's happening now. What is it that I can achieve now? What can I do now? What's happened yesterday is gone. That is gone forever, never to be repeated. I will never be in that position ever again. But what I do from this moment and forward is what is important. Yeah. And even to sort of like be in that moment of awakening, sometimes it's hard to hold that position as well. It's hard to hold that position as well, you know, because like, wow, you know, imagine if you were to utilize everything that you had learned in your life in that moment, right? You'd be operating at a completely different level, but yet you are in a position to utilize everything you learned at that moment, but you don't, right? You choose to be subdued. You choose to be led. You choose to be used and abused in the fact of that you are working for a system, and then they will take away your rewards, in other words, your monies, in forms of tribute, right? I.e. taxes, national insurance, all them type of things there. Yeah. So in other words, you are still a what? What are you? Hold on. Go on.
That's the word begins with an S.
Yes.
And ends in an E. So any of you that are good. But the word is maybe appear harsh, but if we are still entangled and we are not making any changes. So again, something that someone done, and I thought it was a useful analogy. So if there's any brothers and sisters out there who have a pen and piece of paper handy, I would ask you just to follow along with me in terms of having a pen and paper handy, and draw a line. Just find a space on that piece of paper, a blank sheet paper, and just draw a line. Once you've drawn the line, on the left-hand side, if you write down your date of birth. So this is just for your eyes only. On the right-hand side, write down your date of death, how long do you think or perceive or feel that you will live to? So you may think to yourself, recognizing, yep, none of us know when we're going to die. It could be tomorrow, it could be the next 10 years. But depending on your parents, you may be able to think, okay, on average, mother and father lived till they were 75, 80. So if I do everything that's right in terms of eating right, and the ancestors are on my side, I'm going to live to roughly the same age. So you may say, so for me, my mum's 97. So I'm going to say my granddad was 90. He was in his 90s. So I'm going to say I've got a good 20 years. So I'm thinking at least 90. So you've written your date of birth on one side, on the left-hand side, your date of death. And then put a line in terms of where you are now. So that means depending on how old you are now, that line's either going to be on the left-hand side, in the middle, or closer to the right-hand side, whatever the number is. And just take a look. As Brother Aston says, we recognize what happened in the past, and that time is gone, so we can't relive it. But the question is, what are you going to do with the time that's remaining? What are you going to do consciously, not unconsciously or subconsciously, but consciously? What are you going to do with the time that's remaining? How are you going to live your purpose? How are you going to impact those around you? Or are you just going to see the lines getting closer and closer and sit down there in your rocking chair thinking, woe is me? Or complaining that other people have got all the luck and I've been dealt a bad hand. No, we've all been dealt the same hand. And that was the hand of beauty, the fact that we're here.
Is it one of those questions that I always say, how long is a piece of string? How long is a piece of string? Let me tell you. I've over the time, that we do have these type of conversations, and some people, some have expressed, oh, I don't want to get old. I don't want to get old, right? But I'm going to tell you now, right? And I'm mature. I'm mature. I don't fear to say it, right? But in me being where I am, there are the feelings within myself are still excitement of life. Yeah. I still want to live my life to its optimum. Yeah? My abilities may have changed somewhat, but I still want to live my life to the maximum that I can. Yeah. So the only thing I would say that I aim for is quality of living, and that is what most of us do actually aim for. Because if we don't aim for something in ourselves and for ourselves, right, what is going to be the value of us actually getting up in the morning and going through the process of existing within the day? You know? Even now, I still educate myself. You know? Educate myself with the purpose of doing something for the future. There are those who can just sit back and relax and just enjoy whatever life is going to bring to them. No problem. Let them go on. So, but that's how they viewed and used their lives, right? But the thing is that we can look to do things on purpose, live on purpose. Yeah. If we missed the mark, on our previous existence, in other words, yesterday, don't mean you have to miss the mark today.
No, definitely.
Or point yourself in a direction of aiming for the mark, right? Put things in place so that you can get to the mark, right? Even those absent parents, even those parents who are causing the absenteeism, let the, let's bring a balance to all of this, man. Let's bring a balance to this. Stop fighting the in-house war or the civil war, right? Which many of our politicians would love you to actually be part of, yeah, because it's like they're not satisfied until they see blood. Not that they haven't had enough blood shed over the last few years anyway, which is crazy. What you do?
I'm just trying to see if I can put some power and juice into these
Those devices.
Technology. Yes.
You have too much of them there, you know. learn to use one.
Yes, that's another story for another day.
Yeah, learn to use one and use it well. Yeah.
Yes.
Simple as that. Hey, if you look for this, she come into the studio. She bring her own studio with her to Rockstone. Elia. You know what? It's been good. It's been great. We've only got 30 minutes left here, and I'm surprised. I'm very surprised that we haven't had any callers this afternoon here on the GalaxyForWe.net on the Blacknificent Show and the Mind and Soul Connection. I'm very, very surprised. But I saw it go. Let me just check that this thing is working, because it'd be embarrassing if it's not working, isn't it? I'm not sure. I checked it earlier on, but
So what's your just checking it? Yeah. Sometimes we don't want to think about the D word that ends in a H. But it's the one thing that we're all guaranteed. So the question is, how do you make the best use of your time? And part of that is going back to your midday meditation. The other part of that is thinking consciously about doing a mental diet and not just a physical diet. And that mental diet enables you to be conscious about what's going in, allows you to think positively, or rather get your energy diluted in a way, in a manner that does not serve you. And it gives you an opportunity to catch the insights, because you are stronger mentally than your peer or friend or family who's next to you. And when I say stronger, I mean in terms of your thought process, in terms of how you interact with others, in terms of from a strength point of view, in terms of understanding, recognizing your purpose. So I know Brother Aston was saying in terms of why don't we vote as people of color. There's a whole lot of reasons as to why, but you may choose when you're going through your mental diet that actually voting and putting an X in a ballot box and getting involved in politics or politricks may be something that serves you and can serve the community around you. So I would say you don't rule anything out. What you want to do in theory is rule things in. And the mental diet, meditation, allows you to do just that.
And we're not. Okay, then let me put it this way again. I'm not saying it to bring any form of religious doctrination or anything. This is for the betterment. It's for the betterment of you. It's for the betterment of your family, right? If you are able to focus more, right, it is definitely for the betterment, right? look like examples of our young people, like when they've been young, and then they have utilized, you know, like the art of like meditation, the art of yoga, right? That they've been able to focus and to achieve more of their skills of education, and the results are there, right, in the development of them as a child, you know. So even if I know, as we are saying it here, if you're looking and you want some evidence of that, you can again just go look online, right, and see the achievements that some of these children have achieved, right? Let alone the mind of a child. How do you think that it would be with an adult? Huh? How do you think it would be with an adult if you're able to go through that process of development for yourselves? Huh? These are the advantage that we are actually sharing with you, because we want you to have the optimum life. Right? We're talking about living your optimum life. We're not talking about, oh, we guarantee you're going to get an extra 10 years. How do I know that? How do I know what day your clock is going to be up? How do I know that? I don't. But the moment that you are living is what we can work on, right? The satisfaction of that you have been able to live your optimum life in this cycle is what we can work on. Here on the Blacknificent Show, we say to you that peace is our nature. What's your affirmation?
I'm living on purpose
I'm living on
and
purpose.
I am on schedule.
There you go. Right? These things is what we work on constantly. We work on these things constantly.
I,
Right?
I, I also like the one I'm wealthy by nature.
And wealthy by nature. What, you're adding that one to your
I
list?
always add that one to my list because that's a concept and that's a
Mm-hmm.
thought process. And if I think about my lack,
Mm-hmm.
my energy is going in the wrong direction. So what I want to do, I want to maintain my energy levels
Mm-hmm.
at a level whereby, yeah, I can have and I do have everything I need. And from a purpose point of view and helping and supporting others, and you mentioned the coercive control,
Mm-hmm.
supporting women and or men that have gone through that and are looking for help and or support, being able to do that and serve
Mm-hmm.
them without worrying about, okay, where's the next penny coming from? I want to be able to help and I want to be able to support. And in the long term, the opportunity for them, if they're needing to go to court,
Mm-hmm.
being able to help and support them in that as well. So my thought process in terms of I'm wealthy by nature, I can only do it if I'm wealthy by nature. I can't do it if I'm coming from a space of lack.
Mm-hmm.
It can only work with abundance.
Mm-hmm. No, I hear you. I hear you. I hear you. I hearing you. I'm hearing you. I have to work on it myself still. No. Hey, listen. Unfortunately, I'm in a position here that because of the nature of this program, I have to be authentic,
Mm-hmm.
right? And
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to say, yeah, I true your talk.
Mm.
It's true.
Mm.
It's true. But I have to be authentic in them ways there. So
But
as I say, let me put it this way: T-bone steak or £1,000,000. Guess what? Anyway,
Moving swiftly on.
Yeah. I saw it go. Anyhow, yeah. So we only got 20. We only got 20 minutes. Oh, what you know? Guess who's come and join us today this afternoon? And I have to laugh. I have to laugh with this one as well. Good afternoon, brother man. Good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon, my
Other,
brother.
other.
Brother Aspen.
Yes, good man.
Greetings, brother.
Yeah, greetings, Sister Sandra. Welcome to this Iceland.
Iceland.
It's a beautiful Iceland.
Yeah. Well, we're getting a little bit of that because I understand you bring it over anyway. But we appreciate and we give thanks for you to think of us and you say, you know what, let me bring a little bit over there for them. So we can deal with that. So, yes, my brother.
Yes, King man.
I'll tell you, brother Aspen and Sister Sandra, number one, you don't get me to come even earlier or whatever it is, you see, because I think I heard my sister what she was saying before that some of us carry three things together, but it's the one you have to deal with that is another thing. You see, when you live in this Babylon city, right? I mean, we live with just have our head just slightly above water, and I mean, which some of us find out that we want to do the things to be an excellent thing on the other side, but the system we live in doesn't give us that easy hands to carry out that. In another word, right about now, I am in what you call the plantation. And it's good to be in the plantation. But being in the plantation, one reason which follow other things with like maybe one might not find that opportunity to say, all right, then I was having this amount of so and so, which was there, and I'm able to look after my rent or mortgage or light bill or whatever bills there was that being around. Even when you look like today, they say they have put more in their interest rate and so on. So this is what Babylon is dealing with their currency, which they call digital currency, dealing with all sorts of things there. And you ask about where is this coming from? You understand? So this keeping you out of your own little line where you would have find a life support machine. But it's like they don't want us to even be in that life support machine even anymore, just to pass out, get to pass away faster. This is what I can see going on in this system which we live. But then coming again to another thing, really, you talk about the what they call, some of us don't involve in the election and all these kind of things there, or the politics.
Yes, the politics,
which we should know is a politic. Because even when you talk about them, I remember a member of parliament and the conservative make a mention talking about this what you call the coronavirus thing. It's just like the what you call like the Jews being killed or whatever it is and so on. This is
genocidal.
And this is, I mean, he's another person called from us. He went and said this. Now we have to resign out of the getting kicked out.
Exactly.
Yes, my brother.
And that's why I will mention these things, right? As a reference, yeah. But the fact is that everybody defend themselves in whatever way. But the fact is that we only speak truth. Yeah.
That's it.
We speak the truth. Yeah.
Yeah.
And if we're wrong, we're probably the first to turn around and say, something, I was wrong about saying something like that or having that view. But the fact is that it's not wrong. It is the facts, and they don't like the facts being thrown in their or shown in their face like that. Yeah.
Of course, yes. And before Diana Abbott as well, before our own case, which she was right about, there was another lady who was in this conservative during the coronavirus time. And she mentioned, I was trying to pick up what she mentioned. It's a young lady as well, which kind of tell them off or whatever it is in the open parliament and so on, right? And then she was like asked to kind of like they dismiss her in that kind of way. So it seems as if there are certain individuals there who have to be having that big money, even this system of government and the American government. And like you have to be this big money person with like Donald Trump, them all, who can get away with prison, right? And they're still surviving and they can just pay off certain things them and they walk away freely. People like Boris Johnson, them as well, who are in the politics and they can say certain things them and they got away with it, you know, because of what. So it seems as if this is what this capitalist and democratic system is all about. It's not like the way we think about things them. So these are all the oppression and depression which took place in this system that you ask yourself, say, what are you voting for? Even the one who will say they want to go and do it independently. It's like when the system, you have a certain amount of people who are in the system. It's not a majority, but that little few amount of people are the one them who disqualify the 100, let me say 10% of them, disqualify the 90% of people them, because they have this media, they have this entity. When they come, they open their mouth, you know. Even I was listening to one today called Nick Ferrari. It like they talk about the Palestinian them, and when the Archbishop or whatever, somebody talk about the Israeli them, where the council want to boycott some of what they are doing or whatever it is, what the Israeli are dressing up in this country, but they want to boycott them, right? Because they see that this is not right what they're doing, killing amount of people. And then this boy called Nick Ferrari opened his mouth and say, but look, don't look on Israel alone. What about the don't look on Israel doing that. It happened that the Palestinians are doing that against them. And we all see that the Israeli, them are the ones who come with big guns, they come with what? They bomb. But these people, what have they got or whatever it is? The other day they sent a lot of missiles in. Because it's like, no one should open their mouth against these people, them, and so on. They either call them anti-Semitic or whatever it is. So even the people who are the presenters kind of supporting something that is not right. You know, so this is the reason why you look. I was a voter as well. I was a full voter. Maybe just 3 years ago, I look and say, I am not interested in this messing up thing. Because it's like, what voice have we got? I think the voice that we should have to begin to get and all this kind of thing then, you know, I think that the voice that we should be able to get and so on is like, we as well have to become this gangster.
You see?
We have to become the gangster of them. Yeah, my brother. We have to give them what they practice us to do and so on. What we should do become. Yeah.
That is what I call the wake up. The wake up. Yeah. Irrespective of where we are and who we are and what we're doing, we have to step up the game again. Yeah.
Yes.
We can't be just apathetic. Well, this is what I've done. Look at all the things that I've done. This is where I'm at now. No. There's a new day. There's a new way. We have to step into that, my brother. We have to step into that.
Because my brother, I'm gonna leave it a little bit, but look like what happened to our brother Carl. There's no way, you understand? Something we they shouldn't do, so that man after they have made all that their big mistake and all this kind of thing. These are the people, even the court judge, the lawyers, the ministers, they are the ones that should be inside that prison. Or you find that they would have found another way to twist that law and all these sort of things. Them look like the other day. I hear about something which maybe if you go to find it out, it's called a president on presidential. Yeah, it's a bloke who come on one of their stations, and you know what I heard with the podcast should be on today. So I would love that podcast even if we get that podcast so that can be played on Galaxy. This bloke mentioned to Prince Charles. The time when it was Prince Charles, before he come to King, this Boris Johnson boy is one of the dangerous criminal thing they like that man they were having in this country. Who said they would rather see more dead body out there
yes,
than
I remember that. I remember that.
But that's not the thing I want to say, my brother.
I
know your time might be coming. But what I want to say is I understand that man called Prince Charles make mention of the repression that they had to sell, the repression had to be there and so on. And regarding the slavery.
That is not in his vocabulary yet. That is not in his vocabulary. Trust me.
But listen, my brother. He mentioned that, and in that time Boris Johnson was in power. It's in a podcast, and even I heard it yesterday live on their award. This bloke was being interviewed by it was the guy who was in another was director. I think his name is called something or whatever it is. I will find out that name. Director for Boris Johnson, right? And he was in the room them as well in every decision Boris Johnson make. And this bloke, he had just bring a podcast out which should start today on the 11th. And you know what he said? He said Boris Johnson and Prince Charles, during the time Prince Charles was there, they get a squire on. Because it happened that when Prince Charles said to Boris Johnson that, what about this slavery? They have to pay reparation. Boris Johnson said to him that if you mention that thing again about reparation payment, he said then we have to sell he said be careful so that they don't sell the Duchess of Cornwall to pay reparation. That is the now queen. That's what he said to him that time. So be careful that we don't sell the Duchess of Cornwall to pay reparation. Can you imagine? They're getting that square head with it. So this boy, I don't know, this corporation, they both are backing up them people there. Because if it was me and you say that, they will want to find every kind of way to arrest us, to what and everything, because you understand what I mean? That's why I'm not afraid to mention them things, my brother. I'm not afraid even because I hear what is coming from their own mouth, that most of the time the thing I say, it's like, I want to say what I know. Yes, you say that. You say that freely in your station. You say that freely in your what? You broadcast this thing. So why should I not say and broadcast this thing myself? I'm not afraid to be right in Trafalgar Square or before Parliament. Once I get them script them in my head, I will stand in front of that mic like Malcolm X and speak boldly in that kind of way with no scare, my brother. So this is the thing. But I don't want to go to their politics because the only thing they'll do, they'll just twist me around and I go and vote for what? Something that they don't support. A lot of things that we should have get now, even our councillors them now, they're kicking them out because they find out that they have to be with them, that if you can't beat them, you have to join them. And we'll never beat them. But Marcus Garvey did me one thing, my brother.
Right. And that is what... Yeah, that is why I said earlier that, you know, even though I brought up that question and about the voting, right? But we're supposed to be also developing our society away from this system because it isn't here to serve us in any way whatsoever, right? So therefore, come on. We are way behind. We are way behind what we're supposed to be and where we're supposed to be, you know?
My brother, sorry, I was just 1-2 minutes in it because maybe it's gonna come. I mean, what time you finishing? Because I don't want to make you stay for my time.
I'm finishing at the top of the hour. Hour.
Right, okay. Yeah, my brother, when you look, the black community, the African community here, they are the ones who never return. But the Chinese, they go and gather up themselves, build up themselves, take all their ideology, which our man tell us Marcus Garvey. That's why anyone who go and cry Marcus Garvey down is just one of them who are just them out. They outslave them, they call them, who was working with Massa. That is, if Massa dead, they dead too. These are the people them. But it tells us to go because the man was a visionary. You see all the things and that, we get the power. We get everything. Power should have been with us long time. If all of us, most of us would have returned and would go and make way. Even the ones that move, they are almost at the edge now of saying goodbye to this world, like some of us. Would have been there now to go and show somebody them how to use, because they know how to use that diamond, they know how to use that uranium, they know how to use the bauxite and all this kind of thing there. Where we can go, we lock up that place just like China do. We lock up that place. We suspend everything them. This is our power. We get the power, but we think that we haven't got it because we can't use it. We just want to be with Massa who can beat us and put us to prison and lock us and everything just to weaken us. Because that's what they do. They weaken our mentality. They weaken our strength. That's all they're doing to us, my brother. Everything around is we who create it. That's why they even in Egypt now, they're cutting our nose on the monuments now so that they don't recognize us. This is the problem, my brother.
You shall be written out of existence. just like how the previous rulers have done. They've written out their previous rulers' existence out of it. So yeah. Sister Sandra.
No, you touched upon so many different things there. Yeah, from the voting to Marcus Garvey. So, yeah, where do you want me to land? Have we got time in order to have the conversations? And we always say to you, brother, that you need to be ringing earlier.
Yeah.
So we can have that dialogue.
Yes, my sister. Yes, my sister. But just give us a few. The one you pick on. It's just like I've listened to you, but I asked them and you give a lot of things then that I might almost want to lose this. But most of them touching them, there's just a link up of a little bit of that, and which will give a summary that when you look into each one, you might see something sensible there. That's what I normally do, my sister.
Okay. So I'm just thinking, where do I land? Where do I go?
What is touching? Which one of the points? Which one of the points is are you? What would you say that you resonate with? Which one of them?
So it's either going to be it's which order?
No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Just let it flow. Let it flow.
So in terms of the
talking to Mike.
Sorry, in terms of the I'll start with the last one.
Yeah.
That's in. No, I'm not even sure where to start. I'm not even sure where to start.
You actually have a speechless.
You got me speechless. Because I'm thinking, where do I start?
Okay, my sister, in terms of the politics, would you be interested in voting or in joining them in their system?
I probably wouldn't join them in their system, but I would be interested in voting. Because at this current state that I'm in, one of the ways that my voice can be heard is through the ballot box. And we need to, and I feel I need to choose my battles. So going by the ballot box, if I believed in the ballot box, is one way of doing it. I just don't, at this moment in time, believe in the ballot box or in those who are standing up, who have the power, want of a better word. I'm not necessarily believing in them, but I do see that is an avenue. That is a viable avenue in order to have a say and have your voice. And I know within the community, within the Black community, there are individuals who have gone down the politics route. once we know the rules of the game, we can always play, and we are pretty good at playing any game that they put in front of us. And politics is a game. Recognizing it for what it is part of the battle.
Yeah.
You see?
Yeah.
Yeah, what I mean, I could reiterate that as well, because the thing is that we are always saying, you know, don't be any part of any of their system and all them things there. But let's say we have to formulate our defense, just like many of the other other societies that we point out to. They've put themselves or positioned themselves in a sense of that they are have their voice, right? Respected or not respected. They've even got people there now who's running the program. Right? They're running the program, right? Irrespective or not respected. They've even incorporated some of their Sharia laws, right? As well. So in them ways there, you have to understand, we have to position ourselves so that we are protecting our own communities, right? And it starts with the foundation. It starts with the foundation, the education of our young people, right? To be part of a society, not this society per se, but a society that reflects them and supports them. Yeah. So it might be a global connection, but that is what they have to be. They have to be part of that society. Yeah. It's not necessary one that's going to be created here, but we have to have our protection as well. We're supposed to have our lawyers, our barristers, our teachers, our doctors, right? We're supposed to have those type of things, right? We're not part of the society, but we have our society. Yeah. We have our laws, we have our rules, we have our regulations that we live by. Right? This what I'm saying to you has been in my thoughts for a very long time, yeah. We've probably got another 10 minutes or so here.
Okay.
All right. Yes, Brother Julius.
Yes, my sister. All right, that is beautiful. And then because really, myself really, I'm not really think that I want to give these people my vote, because number one, giving them my vote is like, it's just like throwing something just for throwing sake. I mean, look,
right. Hold on. Let me pause you on that. I hear what you're saying. Giving them your vote.
It's not that.
No, it's not giving them your vote. We're supposed to have a representative.
Yeah. So
that you can vote for. Does that make sense?
Well, yes, that is something. Yes, I can add that on. If you want to say that.
And that is our missing key. That's our missing key, right?
Yes, my brother. So really, I mean, when it comes to this system, I don't want no part to do with it. As I say, I take my education, I take my application from the man himself, which maybe we might be thinking that it's yesterday. He tell me, let me don't even pay attention or bow down to no white king. And that is true, because look at them. They're always talking about small boats coming here and all this kind of things, you understand? And that the people then come to take their money. They never take that out of their mind, you understand? Same way in America. They're killing us and all these kind of things and everything. What kind of voice have we still get into that? Instead of that, we organize ourselves and go prepared and ready our big guns them for them. This is the thing they do to when it said, well, all right then. I mean, this is where Sister Sandra can get me in a way. But I'd like to give an example. Where it happened that this bloke here, that they have taken everything that he gets and liquidize that or put that into something and diffuse of that. And he went to gather his army. And he come for them inside Ukraine. And say, okay then, you think it's Ukraine I want, is you lot are going to go and bomb, and do something. Man, because them people, they are never listening, they are just for themselves. right? When they want to suppress us, they tell us about small boat. Even they have no right to take what you call down to what they call where they want to send their own people them to who come here as asylum. When their own man who is the archbishop condemning them or whatever it is, they are condemning their archbishop as well or whatever it is. So the voice them I will want to get.
They have no respect for nobody, yeah. They have no respect for nobody.
Yes, my brother. The voice will be heard, by people there, but there are certain individuals there. It's a corporation who stand with certain amount of money, a certain amount of power, that your voice, my voice, will be heard to me and you. But to them, they take it as it's a white system and so on. They're not going to allow you into this system. And as long as we don't want to come to agreement with that, we think that our voice can be heard within them. This is where the disturbance is. This is where the confusion is going to be, my brother, because we refuse not to come to that agreement and say, look, our voice not going to, even when they are right there inside Mama Africa and so on. They still want their voice to be heard.
Oh,
you
yeah,
understand?
Yeah.
I heard the other boy who was talking yesterday in South Africa, and he said it's very hard for even, he don't know because they have suffered so much, but it will be hard for the system for them to be able to get that voice. And they get the voice, they're thinking about the guys, seeing that these people have to go to where they belong, and we stay to where we belong, because we get the head, we get everything to rule ourselves and to do things them and to produce things them for ourselves. But they don't want to leave us alone. Why? They get bigger. So this is what I'm saying. It's a cooperative thing, and they will always live to suppress us. This is the first thing, my sister. That's why them, I will never go and vote for them. Even if I see one of my brother and sister stand there. I know it's already that I'm not going to vote for my brother and sister there.
But you're not voting for the
system.
Hold on. Okay then. All right. I have to close off the conversation now. Go on.
Yes, my brother.
No, because I was going to say that is it that you're voting for them, or there is something that the person who looks like you is saying that you're in agreement with and you're in alignment with. So we recognize that as it stands currently, there be few of us who will want to vote for them because of their history. But there may be others within our community who wish to be part of the system. And the question I'd ask you is, would you then turn around and say you're not going to vote for the person who looks like you?
Yes, my sister, because that person might be looking like me, but within the person or whatever it is, that's why I say, if you can't beat them, you have to join them. And they will let you join them. That's what it is. Look, we have seen that even recently. Diana Abbott, even that boy, what's his name, the other black boy, Lamine, and you get some others, Kwasi Cartel. They all go, they say they want to bring their system and work out with that. Instead of that, they just get rid of them or whatever it is. They just dissolve them faster. Because it's a system that this is the way they want their system. You can't come and change it. And bring new type of budget, new type of economy. It doesn't happen in their system. That's not how they want it. So this is it, my sister. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. Right. Unfortunately, we have to bring it to a close right now. Right. I want to say thank you for joining us.
All right, my sister Sandra.
Thank you.
I hope I will get to see you again.
Yes.
I will see you soon instead of just talking to you.
Yes, brother.
It's only a bit for us. Anyway, okay.
Well, tell you where they come see you.
I'm going to be at Auntie Jean's in-person African cultural market, which I believe is not this week and is next weekend, next Sunday.
All right.
Then.
So you can catch her live there, sir. All right. Take all your selfies with her and everything.
Yes, my brother. Boodoo.
All right, then. Bless up, man. Bless up. Right. So that's our callers for today. A caller for today. Right. And I say thank you for joining us, Sister Sandra. Live and direct here in the studio.
Yes.
You'll be with us for a little while still, huh?
That's correct. So I will be, I'll be back.
Next Thursday?
One. Next Thursday.
Next Thursday. But you'll still be joining us on Friday, you feel?
Yeah.
Or tomorrow?
Yeah.
Tomorrow morning. All right then. I won't come and drag you out of your bed at 6 o'clock in the morning. Well, come on. We have to get to the studio. I'll do that to myself though. Okay? Edia, thank you once again for joining us on the Blacknificent Show here on the galaxyforwe.net. And we look forward to being with you next Thursday, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Next up will be our sister Anawa. She'll be with you very, very shortly. Okay. Look at that. And as I speak, she shall appear. Edia, have a peaceful next few days until I see you again, right?
Okay.
Bless up.
Let's walk together. Come on, let's sing together. Oh, na 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 na. Sing cha la 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 la. Cha la 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 la. Yeah, we're singing happy song. Yeah.